I'm just trying to put things in order so that when you get there, the thing will go dead dry. You see, you get a lot of resources. You understand? All right. So what are we talking about tonight? This lady is asking. She's asking the question, how do I tell my significant other, how do I tell my man that I am 5 years older than he is? Now, let me give you the background to the story so you have some some context. They met at work. And this is a true life story. They met at work, and the man is in the headquarters and she is in a branch. So wanting transaction, right? The man from headquarters needed to confirm that certain things had been done at the branch. So he called that particular person's desk, right? And the way she responded to him, professionally and all that, he was impressed. So, the transaction went through. The next day, he chatted her up, via their internal platform in the organization, saying, thank you for yesterday and all that. I really appreciate your professionalism and all of that. And they began to chat, and then they became friends online. And from that point, they became friends online. And from that point, things began to develop and all that. And from there, they began to call each other on the phone. One day, the man was like, you know what, let's get together. Let's just have drinks and all that. So they began to see each other on a social level, right? Now, Madame has a major issue. She looks younger than she actually is, right? And somewhere along the line, when they were talking about their ages, somehow or the other, the guy just assumed that she could not be more than like 30. And, she just laughed, she giggled over it and all that, But, because guy was saying, you and I were of the same age now, if you pass 30 now and all that. But she knows that she is 35, and she knows that the guy is 30. But she kept quiet about it. Now, for the past 1 year, right, for the past several months, I beg your pardon, they've been getting progressively closer. And now the man is talking serious relationship, as in, I want to marry you kind of things. The lady is wondering, one, should she go ahead and tell him that she's actually at least 5 years older than he is? If she's going to do that, how is she going to go about it? How is she going to tell him? Because all this while, she has left the man with the assumption that the two of them are the same age. So the question for her now that she's asking is, how on earth is she going to tell this man that she has known for the better part of a year, that she has been relating with, even dating for the better part of a year? How is she, number one, should she go ahead and tell him that she is 5 years older than he is? And if she's going to do that, where does the conversation start from? Where does the conversation start from? Have you been in this kind of situation before? How did you handle it? Because it cuts across both ways. So there are men, who would lie and say, oh, I'm so years old. And then at the end of the day, the wife discovers that, he's a lot older than, we thought to, and all that. He gave me, he alluded to. What have you been in this kind of situation before? You want to share? How did it work out? Did it work out? Did it not work out? How did you handle it? The number to call again, 09136 000 410. And if you're looking to send a message, 09136 000 430. Let me take the numbers one more time. If you want to call, the number to call is 09136 000 410. And if you want to send a WhatsApp message, you can shoot that straight to 09136 000 430. The age gap dilemma. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Martins from Ippaja.
Martins from Ippaja. You're my first caller, I suppose. Give you 𝗪ᴏᴜ.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. I didn't know this program is Monday. I used to think it's Tuesday.
No, it's Monday. Love and Life comes to you live and direct Monday and Wednesday. Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 to 10. So, talk to me.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you been in this kind of situation before? You yourself.
Not really. But I need to be open to this question now.
Oh yeah, talk to me.
The most important thing is that we are not married yet.
All right.
And she needs to crack the nut now. The same way they jokefully, she was not the one that told him that she's 35. It was assumption, and jokefully
she did not refute it.
Yes, it was out of joke. The same way they use joke and enter the journey. That's
okay. She go carry joke enter the serious matter.
Yes, because we are looking at future. We are not looking at boyfriend and girlfriend this time around. Yeah. We are looking at future. And what you fail to break out today will break you tomorrow.
I like it.
So the most important thing now is to break it.
Okay. All right.
That will not define the relationship.
All right. Thank you ever so much, my counselor extraordinaire.
Yes,
God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. So that was our first caller saying she should come clean. And she should come clean in a light-hearted, jocular manner. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Prince Adeyemi. I'm calling from the
GRA where, sir? GRA Ogudu. Excellent. Prince Adeyemi, talk to me, sir. What do you think about this situation? Should she tell him now, or should she just continue to let him assume that they're the same age?
No, she should tell him. What age difference doesn't really matter if there is love. So when they get together, the girl can see give what to him. Doesn't really matter. What really matters is the future you are looking at and what the both of you are doing. It doesn't really matter.
But Prince Adeyemi, she has a fear. There's this fear that I can imagine that every woman in this kind of situation has. That if he finds out, will he not backtrack?
Some men, some men may do that.
Yes.
What will I do? It's me. I think I will still consider the love. But some men do that because of the age, but age doesn't count. Right?
All right.
Yeah. So far, the woman is good. Cook very well.
Prince Adeyemi, you must like food.
You can't believe it.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Prince Adeyemi said, as long as she's a very good woman and she's a very good cook, you don't get stress. If she like, let her be Methuselah. Okay. All right, the number again, 09136 000 410 if you want to call. And if you want to send a message, shoot that straight to 09136 000 430. This is still Love and Life on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos, with yours truly, the sister of your heart, Kemisola. And tonight, we are looking at this age gap issue, this age gap difference, this age gap disclosure kind of thing. So if you're just joining the show, this is Love and Life, and tonight we are talking about the age gap issue, and we have a story, a scenario that we're looking at, a real life situation where this guy and this lady, they met, online at work, right? And it was a transaction that brought them together. They're in different locations in the same organization. One thing led to another. From that transaction, they began to chat. From that transaction, from chatting, they began to talk. They began to call each other, and then they began to see each other. And now, for the past several months, they have been dating. Now, somewhere along the line, Bobo mentioned that me and you were about the same age now. I'm 30, you are 30. The lady giggled and let it fly, but in actual fact, she's 35. She's 35. Now the guy is talking, he's hinting about marriage, and the lady is now like, what am I going to do? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, my first female caller. What's your name?
Gladys.
Yeah,
Gladys.
Gladys. I go put you inside my hall of fame. You are too much. As in.
Thank you.
Name Kekwan.
I'm fine, thank you.
God bless you. Dig Kwan.
I don't hear you.
Ha. You have to go. You have to go and learn. We cannot be blasting Yoruba alone all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, talk to Mr. Gladys. What's going on? 𝗪𴄶𝗁, may she yarn?
Yes. The earlier the better, so that you have a peace of mind. You see, in relationship, lies is very bad.
Yeah.
For you to just keep hide, don't hide anything. Because when you hide one, you need another like 3, 4 to cover up the first one. There's no need. I would just advise her, complain. See, sister, let me be sincere to you. There's something I want to say. What is it? I'm 35. I'm not 30. If he's willing to marry her, fine. If he says no, let it end. It's not the end of the world, though.
Gladys,
so that she'll be happy with herself.
Gladys, hang on. You're a woman. I'm a woman.
Yes.
The two of us, may we look at critically from this lady's point of view. See, me, I'm in total agreement with you. Let her come clean. However, let's look at it from her point of view. 35, she has crossed many rivers. And she dey fear, say, if she tell this man now, this man, we don't they think of marrying me. If I tell him now, will he not run? If he runs at 35, I'll now start again.
Yes.
Talk to that. Speak to that.
Do you know what?
Talk to me.
Yes, let's be sincere. Do you know what? Even at that 35, I know 5 years is a big gap between her and the man. Let's be sincere. The age difference is too much. The man, I believe he will say he will not marry her. Let it be. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
See, that real man, when the time comes, the man will actually locate her. That's my belief. Because I don't want a situation. Tomorrow we will definitely find out. That's what I'm afraid of. He will find out.
No how. Yeah.
There's no way he will not find out. Why don't you just complain? If he says, I will still marry you, fine. If he says, let's end it. Let it end. That right man will locate her at the right time. That's my belief. Peace of mind is what matters to me. Every other thing is secondary.
Thank you, Gladys. God bless you, Lord. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Okay. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Okay. My name is Ralph, calling from Satellite Town.
All right.
I've contributed on this particular program.
Let me give you 𝗪𝗇.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir. Go on, please.
Okay, there's one thing about this relationship of a thing, Like me personally, I hate lies. Me, I hardly lie, unless it's business, let's tell the truth. If you show this husband and wife, unless when I want to do business, yes, I can lie. But for me to just tell somebody lie, because sometimes when you lie, you keep on lying.
Yeah.
And when you want to go into marriage, if you guys are doing boyfriend and girlfriend, let's just be playing each other. You can lie with your age. But when it comes to marriage, be open. Any relationship you started with lies cannot succeed. Let the lady call the man and tell him that, actually, I never know this will lead to marriage, but the truth remains that I'm so here. I'm so doing my real age. I don't feel hot. I don't feel hot or whatever. We can go to hospital and test if I can produce, because I'm not going to be that medicine for every looking for the age of 13. But this is my real age. It will be better than to keep on lying.
All right.
That is nothing happened to me when I want to go married. I will tell you up till now. Not just a small thing, just a changing of one from March to April, just like 2 months gap. That kind of thing. I later went to the church, got the baptism card, go to hospital, get the birth certificate, and know the real age. But this was just like 2 months. But I can tell you, anytime my wife hurts me deeply, I remind that thing that happened over 50 years ago.
Yeah,
but I'll do my best to forget about it.
Ogaraf, kneel down there and raise your 2 legs.
I don't
remembering that kind of thing.
Where they get the machine to tell someone, you see yourself, I don't get mad. But I will not remind her again.
It is well.
But there's nothing like sweet like truth, especially in terms of marriage.
All right. Thank you very much.
That lies the major problem, not the age.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ogaraf. God bless you, loads. And stop remembering. Don't let the devil be reminding you of bad things. Hello, good evening. Oh, I think we lost the call. The number remains 09136 000 410, 09136 000 430. If you're calling 09136 000 410, if you're sending a message 09136 000 430. It is still love and life. And tonight we are talking about this age gap issue. To disclose or not to disclose. So there's a lady who's asking, how do I tell my man? First of all, do I tell, and how do I tell him I'm 5 years older? Hello, good evening. I'm laying hands on the console, on our gadgets. You people function well by God's grace. Function well. All right, so the number remains 09136 000 410 if you're calling, and 09136 000 430 if you're sending a message. Tonight, we are live and direct on Love and Life with yours truly, 𝗫𝗪𝘁, hitting your airwaves from mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Michael.
Michael. Michael?
Yes, Michael.
Okay. Michael, where are you calling from?
Calling from Magodo.
All right, Michael, talk to me. Should she disclose or should she not disclose?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that the foundation matters when it comes to marital relationship. We all have different backgrounds. The truth is that some people are not comfortable marrying someone older than them. But the truth is that, how do I put it, it's institutional. You know, they grow up with that mentality that the man must be older than the woman, which is the kind of, is not totally correct when it comes to marriage. Everybody have their responsibilities, and age doesn't really not a major aspect of the husband's duty. The husband's duties remains the husband's duty.
All right.
Irrespective of it. A wife's duty remains a wife's duty.
Okay, Michael. So should she go ahead and tell the man? I mean, I get what you're saying, but I want to hear it from you direct. Should she go ahead and tell the man, Oga, my darling, I take 5 years past you?
Okay, so ultimately, she will need to do that. It's better to come clean. It's better to come open. I mean, there are marriages where the wife is older than the man. Right. Everyone has falling down.
All right.
So she needs to think of the brighter side. Okay. Yeah, and be ready for anything that happens.
And how's she going to do that? How would you suggest she goes about that?
Thank you very much for that question. I believe in God, and I believe that not just marriage, in anything I do, before I take a major step, I just talk to God about it.
For the hand of the Lord. All right.
I'm ready. Anything that happens, I'm ready. But I need to take this step. Please help me.
Okay.
And then to call him, tell him maybe meet at an eatery, buy food, make him have to
because the way to a man's heart is through his tummy, yeah?
Yes, you should buy food, make him feel comfortable, and tell him it's something she needs to.
All right.
Tell him, yeah.
All right. Thank you ever so much, Michael. God bless you loads. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay, so Michael says she should take him out to an eatery, sponsor the outing, give him plenty of food, give him plenty to drink, let him calm down, and now tell him after she has prayed. What is your suggestion? What should this sister do? Because, in fairness to her, she loves the guy. She does not want to lose the guy. And she is of the opinion, it's almost 100% clear to her, that as soon as the man realizes that, one, she's older, but than he is by 5 good years, two, that she's kept this quiet for the past several months, and three, here's the kicker, that she, even though she never opened her mouth to actually tell him that she was 30, she left him to assume, and in leaving him to that assumption, a lot of other things have gone on, over time, that things that if she were to tell him, he would now cast his mind back and be like, but the other day you said this, you understand, so you were lying, or you were just leading me on, the other time I said this, you didn't say anything, so it's because of this and all that. She has all of those fears. should she go ahead and tell him? One, if she's going to tell him, how is she going to tell him? And I'm going to raise a third question for you to help her answer. How is she going to hold on to that relationship after telling him? Because that's the cocoa of the matter to her. Telling him is not the issue for her right now, right? Even how to tell him is not really that much of an issue. Her main issue, her main fear is what can she do to ensure that she does not lose this relationship in the here and now. The number again, 09136 000 410 if you're calling, and if you're sending a WhatsApp message, you can shoot that straight to 09136 000 430. What should she do? Should she tell him? One, I mean, I will tell you categorically, I mean, I am firmly of the opinion that honesty is the best policy. I know it's a cliche, I get it, but it's true. I tell people that these things are called cliches for a reason. They're called cliches because we don't talk and tire, but they still work. Honesty is the best policy. So she's made that mistake in the past. I absolutely believe she should come forward and speak to the guy. But then, honestly, as a woman, and I keep saying it, here on Love and Life, this is a judgment-free zone. We don't cast judgment. We don't pass judgment on people. As a woman, I can relate to her issues because she's been in this relationship for almost a year, right? She and the guy, they don't go far. You understand? And then to now consider losing it. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Hello. Oh, great. Please help me reduce the volume.
Samuel.
All right. Samuel, where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from Lᴏᴇ.
All right. Samuel, talk to me. What should our sister do? Please help me reduce the volume of your radio. Pico.
Okay.
Samuel is still too high. I did hear feedback.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's try now. So what should she do? Should she tell him?
Okay, I would say she should tell him.
All right.
The reason why I said she should tell him, if the guy loves her so much, the guy would not count on the age.
All right. Okay.
So that's all.
All right. So how should she go about telling him? That's another issue. Then Samuel, you answer the last question. How will she hold on? You have to give me expo on how she's going to hold on to this guy and not lose him. So how should she go about telling him? Samuel, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
All right, so quickly, talk.
Okay, so
how should she tell him?
You should figure out what the guy likes so much.
Okay.
And then get for the guy. Look for a present time that will make the guy happy, and then tell the guy about that.
All right then. And how's she going to hold on to this guy? What if she tells him and he says, I'll not do again, I'll not do.
In this particular terms now, she should keep her mind in a zero mind that anything can happen.
Right.
She should not just focus her mind that she's inside a relationship already.
All right.
So that it will not hurt her.
Okay. Thank you very much, Samuel. God bless you loads. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. You're welcome.
On how she would tell him. My name is Ralph from Satellite Town.
Okay, Ralph from Satellite Town.
Please,
God bless you.
Like now, I think I can understand her age and someone you love losing him because of one thing or the other. What should we do? Let her from today continue doing everything possible to win the heart of that guy. That the guy can never do without her. Like the guy can never afford to lose her. Then when you finally do everything possible, even when someone talk against her somewhere, the guy will be like, I don't care the age. She's okay for me. She's everything.
All right.
And then next I want to give you, if she's a Christian, let always be the one to start prayer morning and evening, night, every day prayer, and always carry the man along. When I want to pray, we put the man in prayer.
Okay.
So God bless this man, bless this man. So this one will never like. This one will live long.
So that he'll say that she really loves him.
That's the thing now. Say that the prayer, they pray for him. You cannot say this prayer at work.
Rafa Baba.
One day there's someone place for whom we go start saying, honey, there's something I want to tell you. And I thought maybe you're not serious in this relationship before. You know that kind of say, can't just open up everything to you. It's a gradual process. Since you're about to marry, this is my real age. But I wouldn't mind. I have to tell you the truth. Because I'm a woman and I really need you in my life. That's all I can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ralph. God
You're
bless you
welcome.
loads. Ralph says she should make herself indispensable to the guy. She should just, go all out to be the woman, his perfect woman and all that. So that by the time she's telling himself, he will just be like, no, you are the woman for me. My question for Ralph, though, easy. 09136 000 410 is the number to call. 09136 000 430 is the number to send a message to. You are still tuned in to Love and Life on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. I am yours truly, 𝗫𝗫 the sister of your heart. Tonight, we are looking at the age gap issue in terms of disclosure. Our friend, our sister, your sister, my sister, is saying she has been with this guy for almost a year. And now the man is hinting very broadly about marriage. Unfortunately, well, let me not say unfortunately, incidentally, when the issue of age came out, when they were discussing lightly about the issue of age, the man just assumed that both of them were of the same age and was like, me and you should be, we are 30 now. And she just giggled and let it slide. Now that things are looking very serious, she's like, how do I tell my very conservative, very traditional, significant other that I am 5 years older than he is? He's 30, she's 35. And beyond major questions we're looking at, should she tell him or should she just continue and let sleeping dogs lie? One, if she's going to tell him, how should she tell him? 3, if she tells him, how is she going to hold on to that relationship? Because the cocoa of the matter is that she loves the guy very, very much. She doesn't want to lose him. She cannot imagine starting afresh with another man entirely. And, ladies will bear me witness that if she's been in a relationship with this guy for the past several months, most likely she has, what's the word now? She has blocked off the advances of a good number of other men, right? So she's invested so much emotionally in this relationship. She loves the guy. She doesn't want to let him go. She doesn't want to lose the relationship. So how is she going to be able to do all of these things? Tell him, should she tell him? And if she tells him, how should she tell? What's the best way for her to tell him to ensure that she does not lose the man? 09136 000 410 if you're calling, 09136 000 430 if you're sending a message. And like I said, this is a no judgment area. This is a no judgment zone. I know a lot of ladies have issues with their age. I used to tease my mom of blessed memory that even when I was like in my early 20s, I think I saw my mom's voter's card or something, and the age there was 39. I was like, Mama, what's going on? So I know that typically most women have an issue telling people their age. Me, I don't have it. In fact, my husband says I use my age to bully people into submission. I don't. And I'm not, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tell you my age. Just let's respect ourselves. But I know that a lot of women, typically women have issues revealing their age, especially the older we get. So there's that angle. All right. Now, again, there's this angle that, she and this guy have been getting really, really close. She allowed it to slide the first time. She never expected that it was going to get to this extent. As at the time she allowed it to slide, they were not even dating. They were just like talking stage, just verbally flirting and all that, getting a flirt on. But now it has gotten to this stage, and she's looked at the months that she has invested in this relationship, had the depth of her feelings for this guy. She doesn't want to lose him. But she's like, do I continue like this? Because like a good number of our callers have said, it's gonna come back to bite her. So she's asking, should I tell him now? Should I tell him later? If I'm going to tell him at all, whether now or later, how do I go about it? And how do I ensure that I do not lose my man? Because apart from the age factor, it's kind of like an emotional roller coaster that women, in fact, people should typically avoid. You understand? You're with this person today, all of a sudden, you know, you in any typical relationship where you're having, where you're enjoying yourself, you will do everything within your power to ensure that you don't lose the object of your affections, right? That you don't lose that relationship. So what do we advise? What do you advise this young lady to do? Should she tell him? And if she's going to tell him, how best can she tell him? And what would she need to do to ensure that she does not lose the relationship? Those are the questions that we're asking tonight. 09136 000 410, 09136 000 430. Are you a woman who is married? Well, are you married? Are you a woman who is married and you're older than your husband? Let me know. If you're older than your husband, maybe even if it's by weeks, if it's by a couple of days, if it's by a couple of hours, if it's by years, how is that going? Tell me. I believe, and I stand to be corrected, that when a woman is older than her husband, she would need to be extra submissive. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. You're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Good evening. My name is Ken.
Hi, Ken. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ipaja.
All right, Ken from Ipaja. Talk to me. What would you have this our sister do? Should she tell you?
Yes. You see, like you said, women find it very difficult to tell their age.
Yes.
There's this word that say a woman who tells you her age is either too young, that she has nothing to gain, or too old, that she has nothing to lose.
I will tell you my age now. You have provoked me. All right, please go on.
See, yes. So in this case now, I think the best thing for her to do is tell the man exactly. If the man, see, what will happen thereafter depends on what the man has think about her. For me, if you tell me that, I would rather continue with the relationship because you have come out to tell me the truth. But if you hide it from me, by the time I find out, as simple as it is, I'll be I'll feel very bad. You can't know, the woman can't know where it will end. That's what I think.
I want to ask you a very candid question.
Go ahead.
If your younger brother or if your brother were going to come to you, right, and tell you that he's 30 and he's just discovered that his significant other is 35, that she just owned up to the fact that she's 35 years old, what would be your candid advice, Ken? Your own blood brother, same father, same mother. What would be your candid advice to the guy?
I would tell him that it depends on what he feels for the lady.
Okay.
If he really loves the girl, go ahead and marry her.
Okay.
I will tell her. But if he doesn't, I won't compel him. I won't persuade him. I won't do anything. I'll just say, well, it's your choice. But if he says yes, he wants to marry her, I'll give him my blessing. All
right. Thank you ever so much, Ken. God bless you.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night. Good night. Okay. Wow. I like that. So, what's your take on this? Are you married and you're older than your husband? Or maybe you're the married man and your wife is older than you. Tell me, do call in 09136 000 410 or even send me a WhatsApp message on 09136 000 430 to tell me how that is going. Like I was saying earlier, I am of the opinion that in this our very traditional society, for the sake of peace, when the woman is older than the man, she has to be at least slightly more submissive, if not a whole lot more submissive than a woman who is younger than her husband. Why? Simply because you've got to bend over backwards to let the man know that the age factor, the fact that you're older than he is not getting to your head. That's my submission, because I've come to realize that in some cases, not in every case, but I have seen some cases where any little thing the woman does that the man perceives to be wrong or out of order, right, he would immediately have this thought, even unwillingly, right? The thought would just drop into his mind that now because she old past me. So, as far as I'm concerned, a man can marry an older woman. Age as far as I'm concerned, is nothing but a number. However, because everybody's situation is different, so what I have seen, what I have noticed about women who are older than their husbands, right, and have, at least to all intents and purposes, they seem to have, a good marriage. What I've seen them do is that they tend to submit a bit more than the average woman. Me, I see. And if I were going to advise any woman, that's the advice I would give. I know a woman who is about 7 years older than her husband, but if her husband tells her, that, you must not do, she follows immediately. She will, the way my elder brother brought me up, obey first before you complain. She would obey first before she would even complain. Now, for someone like me who married a man who is a bit older, I would argue that, wait now, no, you have to explain to me why you don't want me to do this. But in her own case, it's the reverse. She would obey first before she would even now ask later, when the ambience is conducive to that kind of conversation, that, babe, so this thing you said, I mean, I'm with you. You said I should not do it. I've stopped to, but I'm just curious. Where's it coming from? That kind of thing. So she would obey first before she would ask questions. Obey first. She would obey first and ask questions later. All right. Are you in that kind of situation where you're older than your husband? Is it even giving you issues? Call me. Let's talk it out. 09136 000 430. Tonight, we are talking about the age gap thing. Should we disclose? In fact, I'm asking generally now, right? Should you disclose? Because the past couple of weeks we've been talking about secrets. Should you disclose the fact that, should a woman disclose the fact that she's older than the man in a romantic situation? Maybe they haven't even started dating, right? Then, Oga, you that you're there, you're out there listening to me, I have a question for you. Can you date a woman who is at least 5 years older than you? Seriously, not that you're looking for cougar. Seriously, can you seriously, with your full chest, fully committed, can you be fully committed romantically to a woman who is 5 years older than you, knowingly fully committed to a woman? Can you be fully committed to a woman whom is 5 years older than you? I'm curious about your response. And if you've dated such a woman before, or you're married to such a woman, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Don't forget, this is a judgment-free zone. In fact, for me, kudos to you if that's your situation. No judgment, and you can remain anonymous. The number to call, 09136 000 410, and if you're shooting a message, 09136 000 430. Like I've said again and again, it can happen to either gender, either of the sexes, whether you're male or you're female. A friend of mine, a brother of mine ran to me. I said I was going to tell you the story later. A brother of mine ran to me I think about a couple years back, and he was like, Mama, come and see what's going on and all that. I was like, what's happening? So he said he had been dating this lady, and they had even done the introduction. And according to him, beautiful woman, high level of integrity, well spoken of by her entire family, by her her church, her pastor, this one. In fact, the lady was a long distance romance. So the guy had gone to meet her family, everybody, and she even confided, to him about her past and all that. So he felt and was like, oh, okay, so you've been married before, not a problem. Yeah, I'm down with you. I mean, you're a new person. She said that marriage is over, it's over, they're divorced, they've returned the man's bride price, blah, blah, blah. And they continued. And then all of a sudden, so they'd done the introduction, and they were preparing for the court, for the registry wedding. That is where I learned that when I was in secondary school from one of our Yoruba literature books, right? So that was when everything went down, because he needed her birth certificate to register, to start the process at the court, at the registry. And he kept asking for her birth certificate. He kept asking her to scan it and send it down to him. And then, he noticed she was oddly reluctant and was like, babe, send me this thing, make I go do this thing, because there's a counting, there's a waiting period. You know, they still have like maybe 30 days or something, or 30 working days, I can't even remember. Send me this thing so that, you know, the sooner we get it sorted out, the sooner we can do our registry wedding and move on to all the other things. We still get traditional way we want to do. We still get white wedding way, church wedding way we want to do. Hurry up. And she was like, she kept saying, okay, I will send it. The man will remind her again. Oh, I forgot, I'm sorry. So finally, one day, she called him and said, babe, you know, I've been reluctant to send this thing. This is the issue. My birth certificate shows that my date of birth is in so year. So technically, in fact, incidentally, in this case also, the lady is 5 years older than the guy. Exactly 5 years. And the guy was 32. So the lady was 37. And when she came clean, the guy was distraught. Because according to him, he said it wasn't even the fact that, to him, it wasn't the age gap issue. The age gap was not, for him, it was not an issue. The issue for him is that she had lied to him, because they had had that conversation and she had said very clearly that she was, I think she claimed to be 30. And he never saw it coming because she looked so much younger. He said, but he had noticed that her second younger brother, as in, you know, she had an immediate younger brother and then she had another younger brother. So the second younger brother was looking older than he himself. And he said, the day he met the guy, he was telling her that, babe, this is your brother, how come they, you know, even it resembles person, oh, pass me safe. And she was like, say get body where people get body and hair, you know, then they quick old, that kind of thing. And she was like, and he was like, oh, okay, that's so he just let it go. So when she confided, when she eventually confessed, he began to remember all the excuses and the quote and unquote, the castle of lies she had built just to cover that one lie. And so my brother called off the wedding. He called off the wedding. And that is, and of course he got, you know, a lot of criticism, because I mean the family don't enter themselves. His own family was like, no, you can't do this because of this little thing. And he was like, no, the issue is trust betrayed. And he told me, he said he could not even look at that lady and believe anything she would ever say to him again, that she had so betrayed his trust. That it wasn't the age issue, it was a lie issue. And not just that it was a one-off lie, there was a whole cascade of lies tied to that one quote-unquote simple lie. Are you in a similar situation and you just need to get it off of your chest? You can call me 09136 0000410 or send a WhatsApp message to 09136 0000430. I'll be signing off soon, but I can take a couple more messages, a couple more calls. I'm available for you. And in this scenario with our sister, should she tell the guy? How should she tell the guy? And how will she ensure? What can she do to ensure that she does not lose the guy? I think everything is just about the guy. Should she tell the guy? How should she tell the guy? How will she not lose the guy? Right now, everything is about the guy. So what advice do you have for our sister? You can participate on the show 09136 0000410 09136 0000430. All right. For me, like I said, I understand it from her point of view, but the truth of the matter is, as unpalatable as it may seem, you've got to come out clean. It's just as simple as that, because somewhere along the line, if you don't tell him, he's going to find out and it's going to be worse. If you don't tell him yourself, if you don't tell him voluntarily, he's going to eventually find out and it's going to be worse, because he might just discover somebody that went to school with you, who was in the same set with you in secondary school, and he'll begin to put two and two together. And Let me take this call. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Okay, this is Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul, where are you calling from?
From Ijegun.
Ijegun. Okay, talk to me, sir. Advise this our sister. What should she do? Should she tell him?
My sister, the story as real as you have just said it. So, I myself, I believe that she should tell the young man.
All right.
She should open up.
Okay, but how? How should she tell him?
I just want my kind of person. Because marriage is something that is going to lead into marriage, not girlfriend and boyfriend. So, then building the foundation of marriage on lies is going to affect them. Going to affect them. So she has to open up.
Okay.
Now, what she has to understand is who is behind the marriage. Is it she or God? If God is involved, the young man will be for him. And somebody said something before. Before she goes to tell him, you have to commit it into God's hand. Lord, I just commit it into God's hand, and then let the Lord have his way.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if the young man backs off, she should know that it is not the will of God for her.
All right.
Age is not it all.
All right, Mr. Paul. Thank you so much. God bless you loads.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I can still squeeze in one more call or one more message. So who's going to be the lucky person that will be the last caller on my show? 09136 0000410, 09136 0000430. Do I have a caller? Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is John. I'm calling from Ikeja.
John from Ikeja, talk to me. Should she disclose to the guy?
Yes, of course.
All right.
You have to, and the guy has to reason with her.
I like it. The man has to reason with her. Okay.
Yes, and because she loves him, she don't want to lose him. That is why she lied. So she should forgive. And move
but you know,
on.
technically, she didn't lie. She just allowed him to assume. Technically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, of course. So she has to talk to him.
So, John, how is she? What would you advise that she should do so that she will not lose this guy?
Well, she needs to meet him. She needs his attention, as he's her guy and her husband to be. She know him, so she really needs to talk to him and and give him the facts. Maybe he will reason.
All right, thank you very much, John.
Yes.
God bless you loads. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, so I'm rounding off now, but is that a call? See you people. Hello, good evening. Now I won't round off. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Mike, I'm calling from Egbeda.
Mike from Egbeda, talk to me. Should she disclose?
Yeah. No, so the disclosure is not negotiable. You have to disclose, right? That's the beginning. And so once you disclose, two things will happen. The moment you disclose, the person is going to be rattled by that information.
All right.
But at the same time, the person is going to go back and think about who you have been to him. What's your value to him? If at the end of the day the person does those analyses, if who you have been to him is weightier than the age differential, first the person will go ahead with the age, right? Now, so for some people, what they can now do is to tell you, babe, I want my wife to look young for me. I want my wife to be youthful. So please just help me. I'm not going to say I'm not going to marry you. I love you. I want to marry you. But you on your own, but just do something for me. Just try as much as you can to be useful for me. And that would be it. There are some people you never know that they are older than their husband because they look very youthful and young. They require you going to the gym and doing something to just keep yourself youthful, and that's all. What else? That's all. Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Beautiful contribution there. All right, beautiful contribution there. So I'm going to round off by saying, right, like the last caller said, disclosure is absolutely non-negotiable. You can't afford to build a relationship based on lies. And like I explained, if you don't disclose now, it's going to come back to bite you in the future. He's going to find out, and it's going to be worse. So you absolutely have to disclose. Now, how to disclose, right? It would depend on your relationship with him, right? It would depend on your relationship with him. But you've got to let him understand that you're choosing to disclose now rather than later. Yes, you own up to the fact that you should have disclosed earlier. Don't gloss over that. But let him know that you're choosing to disclose now rather than continue in that lie, which would have been your regular default because you love him so much you don't want to lose him, right? So let him know that you're choosing to disclose now, even with the possibility that, you know, he could waka. And let him know that if at the end of the day, for me, the way to hold on, to be able to keep that relationship is to let him go. Just make him understand that, look, if at the end of the day he wants to go, you're okay. You're not going to like it. It's not what you want. You would love for the two of you to continue, but if he insists, you will let him go. And that is how I bring tonight's show to an end. Flower Girl is already here, ready for you. Flower Girl, oh yeah, talk. I hand you over to the beautiful flowery hands of Flower Girl. See you guys on Wednesday. Good night.